and welcome to Love Island the morning after, the only official Love Island podcast. Now, this morning, my podcast co-host, Indiyah Polack, is losing her mind. Why is that, Indiyah?
Because my gorgeous friend, work husband, and the ultimate devil's avocado, Sam Thompson is here!
Can we hug? Can we?
Yeah, come on, bring it in.
I mean, digital hug.
The digital hug.
Yes.
We have missed you on this podcast.
I've been seeing so many clips, by the way. This sounds really, really lame, but I'm so proud of you both. You're smashing it. By the way, you're being recorded now. I don't like it. I'm freaking out.
Can't roll out of bed straight into work anymore.
Yeah.
Sad times.
I'm not ready for it. It's so cool. I feel like I'm coming home.
Yeah, it's good. Like Amy likes to say, we're movie stars now.
Yeah.
Because we get live on the ITVX in the morning.
Yeah.
We're on the telly.
We're on the telly. Now, Sam, talking of telly, have you been enjoying the series?
Mate, I've been absolutely loving it. I've got a soft spot for All Stars because I think when people come back a second or in Casey's case a third time, I feel like they always are more eager than people who've just come on because they know what it is that they're trying to get and they salivate over it. So like here when they let you look at them and they're just ready to go.
We are dying to hear all the gossip and all your opinions on last night's episode, but we also want to find out what you think about all the couples, okay? Sam, are you going to behave yourself?
Guys, you are in charge. This is speak when spoken to. I'm ready to go. I mean, poor you guys. Literally, we're watching the show and I just won't even let you listen to it because I'm talking over it. So I have a lot to say.
That's good.
So, our newest couple, Chuggs and Tina. I mean, I'm not sure they're going to set the world alight, but we've got a week left. Who knows what could happen in a week?
I'm going to do something without thinking now as well.
What? No. I don't want to have to party, don't do that. Not yet. Give me amends.
No,
Have a cuddle.
No, don't cuddle it off.
Why? Oh, it's a hug.
Oh, no.
Now, Chuggs went in for the kiss with Tina and she pied him. They thought they covered it up by going in for a hug, which is what everyone does in Love Island when they get pied from a kiss. And they've talked about it a lot with people. Like, do we think that spark will ever come?
No.
Yeah.
Indiyah, we both just looked at each other saying we knew the answer. Mate, when you're in Love Island, the spark has to be there at the very beginning. And if it's not there, just move on.
I agree.
It's not going to work. We all know that.
And I think being in the Love Island villa, if you don't get those like tummy flutters as soon as you see someone or you're just bouncing off the bat, forget about it. As soon as Tina said, I'm not sure, I said, hang it up.
Hang out the boots, big guy.
Don't even bother.
And they can't even just walk out because too many people did that last week. It's been done.
Also, you're too near the end as well. And this is coming from someone who's been swerved on TV before, by the way.
Yeah.
If you're being swerved, you've got to sit there and you've got to own it and be like, right, I'm a bit of a lemon. I shouldn't have lunched. And Indiyah was saying, actually, when we were watching as well, she was like, they were miles away from each other.
So far away. Like, literally, Chuggs at the other side of the couch. She did about 2 scoots. And then Tina was like, no, don't even bother. Like, don't
shuffling over.
At least she had some time to be like, it wasn't like when Curtis and Ekin kissed the week before and she just put it straight on him. She had some time to see him approaching.
Scooting over.
I was like, no, stop, no.
And the worst thing is he did like the half. He didn't even go full. He went, And she went, no. He
wasn't even sure himself.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't sure himself.
That's no conviction. He had no courage in his convictions.
None.
But I tell you what it's got conviction of, it never happens. It never happens
Mate.
anywhere else. Where there are no cameras, never happens. Snogs all the time.
Yeah.
Do you think he should have just like taken it
He
and
should have
stopped
just
saying
owned
that?
it. Yeah, for sure. I mean, Tina went on and said like, oh, we took it like a champ. I don't really think he did because he did everything in his power to let Tina know, I promise, this never happens in the real world. Like, it was just a little blip between me and you. I think he should have handled it a bit better than that. Take it on the chin. I think it's very obvious Tina isn't that into him. And he started blaming on outside things like, oh, is it because I spoke to her friend? No, babe. No.
It's said that to the boys on the pool. The guys are like, okay, mate. Okay. Brother, you just got to take it on the chin and move forward. It's happened to me before.
Yeah.
I went like that and she went, no. And she swerved around. I was 21 years old. It happens to the best. It's never happened to you.
No, it's never happened to me, unfortunately.
Amy, has it happened to you?
No, and I would never swerve someone because I am too polite.
I swear someone did a
before.
cheek kiss.
Yeah, no, if someone came towards me for a kiss, if they bought me a drink or something, I'd have to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, you do like sympathy kisses.
You're like me,
kisses,
background
yeah.
of a slug. Absolutely fine. Yes, man, completely.
Yeah, people pleaser.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
But you know what? The awkwardness
Yeah.
of like because then they sit there and then just she's like, I'm really sorry.
You
Is
can
that done what's
feel
wrong?
it.
And he went so red. It must
Yeah.
be really horrible, to be fair.
Yeah, to be fair.
Also, you've done it and you know millions of people have just seen that. So you lean back after it hasn't worked and you go, oh, God.
We were literally all sitting there last night when he was getting pied. We were all like,
I knew it was going to happen. There was no music. Every time someone's kissed in the series, we've been like, here comes the music. Silence. There was silence.
Love Island is just the best show. I don't care how many years, like we go, I could be 40 years old. I don't even know where I'll be in life, but I will always be like, it's so brilliant. Those like human moments, we've all been there.
Yeah.
They happen on this show and I adore it.
Yeah.
My nan and granddad are 79 and they love it.
Love that.
It's multi-generational, darling.
Yeah. Well, we're all in the 30s now other than you.
I'm really there. 28 next year.
Do you know what? I love the way that we've got sort of like 30 pluses there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I really, really like it because they're my age.
Yeah.
And so, like, being able to watch it. So, for example, I know we're going to talk about them a little bit later, but like Gabby, when I look at her, I think it's really nice. And I go, you know yourself. Like, you really know yourself. And you know the kind of person you are and who you want to be and who you want to be with. And you can see, like, the growth in humans when they get to a certain age. It's really cool.
Yeah. Sometimes when I watch the summer one, I feel quite old because I think about how young I was, even though I wasn't that young, but like in my brain, how young I was when I went on it. And I just watched them being like, 20, 21, 22, and I feel really old, but I don't feel old watching All Stars.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. I love it. Only 2 weeks to go before the big finale and the stakes in the villa are sky high. Thankfully, our islanders are staying cool in pre-loved fashion. Last week, heads were butting, romances were brewing, and I was living for the Vegas night looks. Me and the islanders couldn't get enough of Tina and Grace's stunning Zara and H&M with Moschino tops, which were the centre of all the chat during the romance roulette game. Clearly, Diamante is a girl's best friend, especially on a night like this. Later on in the week, we also saw Curtis and Ekin-Su adding some drama to their outfit that we were so here for in a classic House of CB floral bell sleeve dress and a Stussy old flower tee. We definitely know they slayed in pre-loved. Obsessed with all the villa action? Get the island look on eBay today. eBay, sponsors of Love Island All-Stars. Now, talking of slightly older couples, our favourites, been my favourite since the beginning. You've been a slow burn, but you're now fully in the fan club.
Yeah.
Gabby and Casey. Do you love them as much as we do?
To be fair, India, we were fangirling a little bit over them when they had their date. Their date was lovely, right?
was
I
honest.
really liked it. I thought that we see Love Island dates sometimes. We're like, I don't know if what you're saying is legit. They actually looked like they were on a proper date. Like when they were speaking to each other, it actually looked like they cared a little bit about each other. Look, the bar is low, but like it's nice to see two people who you go, you actually will go to your pub.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you actually are going to meet Oscar, and for however short it may be, this is actually going to happen, which is really, really nice. I can't even say this word.
Go on.
I ship them.
Yeah!
I ship them. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it.
I can see them working on the outside because I think your friends are a very important part of a relationship. I know people say like it's just about the two people and friends shouldn't get involved, but I think it's really important. And I can see them hanging out with Tom Clare and Molly Smith, who won last year. So obviously Tom and Casey are best friends.
Mates,
Molly and Gabby both love fitness.
Yeah.
Like both love a good time. Like I can see the holidays. I can't wait to follow along with on Instagram. I can't wait to watch the TikToks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I can see it working on the outside for that reason.
Yeah, and do you know what? I was a slow burner. I wasn't sure at the start because obviously they have an age gap. And I was quite skeptical and then thinking about Casey's past and stuff like that. But they really have proven themselves. They have nice, honest chats. And Casey seems quite smitten. And I do like that, he did say as soon as he came in, he's always had eyes for Gabby, like even in the outside world. So he's gone for what he wanted and it's working out for him.
Do you know what? This sounds bad because I've bumped into him before, but like I feel like he is a good time guy.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Gabby is worried about. I am no therapist, right? So just bear with me here while I try and unpack my own feelings.
Yeah.
But I feel like what she's saying to him when she's like, are we ever going to have a serious conversation? I don't actually think she means like let's have an actual serious. I think she's going, are you still living for the moment? Or are you actually
Are you
looking
ready for this?
For this?
Yeah.
Or are you just saying you're looking for this? I actually think she really likes him.
Yeah, for sure.
I think she really likes him, and I'm sitting there going, I don't know whether he's just not quite as into it, but this is me being really, really cynical.
I think he's into it for sure, but I agree with him, like, they're not in the real world yet. So maybe a little bit, Casey hasn't realised that, when I get out in the real world, am I actually ready for this long-term serious relationship? Or do I still want to have a bit of fun with the boys?
However, for me to play devil's avocado,
Go on.
because I really, really ship them.
Yeah.
I think when you first come out of Love Island, when you've gone in, like you work in a chip shop in Grimsby, and then you go into Holding, then you go into the villa, and then you come out and your life has changed overnight. It's unrecognisable from what it was before. You're going on these PA tours. It's that hype, and you're like a kid in a sweet shop. You've never had that before, right? This is the third time Casey has left Love Island, right? He's done that. He's had that adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
And he did say he was ready for a relationship now. Everyone knows him now. Like anyone that's tried it on with him in the ship in Wandsworth before doesn't need to again, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're going to be fine. Thank you for coming to
I
my
mean, it's a good
talk.
point.
Yeah.
It's a good point. I really like that.
Yeah, I mean, to add to it, they are actually closed off now. And Casey did mention, you know what? I just want what my friends have.
Yeah.
So we will have to see.
I'm excited.
I
Is
get
it
it.
going to work out?
Is it gonna work out? Now, something that seems to be working out is Harriet and Ronnie. Now, we all saw last night when they got the text and it was time for somebody to go into the hideaway. Ronnie actually took it upon himself to actually tell the whole villa people, it's gonna be me and Harriet. Lucas seemed a little bit irked by the situation. Do we think it's a little bit understandable? He felt like he deserved to go with Grace.
Do you think, and I might be wrong here, so please correct me, and I think this happened on Ronnie's year as well. He's like one of the top dogs there.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, yeah, go Ronnie, like go on Ronnie. And it's like, you don't need to like suck up to him.
Kind
do
of
you know
like
what I mean?
group leader vibes.
Yeah.
And they're just like,
And I never understand it, because he seems like a lovely bloke, but like
Yeah.
everyone always, I feel like, is trying to please. Who votes Ronnie? And everyone's like, I want Ronnie, I want Ronnie.
Yeah.
When he came in here last time, I didn't know what I was expecting. Obviously, we'd seen him on telly sort of going from girls, girls, girl, being turbo. When he came in, he was so charming. He could have convinced me to do anything. Like, I hate heights. He could have convinced me to do a skydive. So he's so charming. When he speaks to you, it's like you're the only person in the room. So I do understand how he's got all the boys in his gang.
Yeah.
Amy, Sam is watching this, by the way.
I love you. I told Sam we were closed off last night. A mere 6 months into our marriage.
Wow. Oh my God, babe, look at all the little chalky straws.
Right, so we heard Harriet squeal, Chucky straws, when she was in the hideaway. What are our like opinions on like cute little words and like baby voices with our partners?
I do not have a leg to stand on whatsoever. Say Chocky Straws as much as you like.
Yeah.
She talked your baby voice to Cedric and Albus.
All John.
Yeah.
I literally left my home just now and I was just like, my boys, I'm only going to be an out. I feel so guilty leaving them. It's really
Yeah,
bad.
to be fair, do you have any little...
We do like sing and dance quite a lot together, just like
Fun.
jokingly. I think my main quirk is being the messiest person in the world.
No,
and
I
his
relate to
quirk
that.
is having a go at me about it.
I don't really think me and Dammy have many like crazy ones.
All I
It's
want to
quite
hear from
rogue.
you is I want to hear that Dammy comes up to you and goes, hey, little baby girl. Like, hell yeah, I just can't see it. I cannot see it at all.
I feel like I told you about this before, but like sometimes he will just like walk in the room and like pretend to be somebody else. And then I'll just play along with
Didn't
him.
he call you mummy or something
Here
at
we
one
go,
point?
here
Yeah,
we
that's
go.
what it was.
No,
I knew
it
I
was the
remember.
other way
You
round.
called him
You called
daddy.
daddy.
She called him daddy.
What,
Yeah.
in like a
Hey,
sexy
daddy.
schoolgirl?
Hey, daddy.
It's something we don't ever bring to the podcast
We do it on here.
table.
What, like in Modern Family when they go to and they pretend to be like the estate agent?
Yeah,
And
literally.
literally the name badges.
Literally, he'll walk through the door and then he'll be, I don't know, something random like a chef or a farmer and he'll put on a whole accent. And I'm like, okay, so what do you want for lunch today? Or just something really crazy.
I love
But
that.
It goes on and it's quite funny.
Is it
Yeah.
like a sexy thing though?
It's not really sexy, it's more like playful.
Right.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love
But it's
that.
funny.
Yeah.
it's
Who's your
fun.
character?
I just play along to whatever he says. Yeah.
You're tired. You're tired. It's
So
fine.
basically, your whole life is a big improv game.
Yeah, and then I come on this podcast and
It's like
act
park
like my real
bench.
self.
Yeah.
Now, India, you know me, I love a bargain. In fact, if I can save whilst I spend, that makes me almost as excited as watching a recoupling.
Okay, I'm going to need some tips because serving looks on the pod is not cheap.
Well, ITV Kaching is a brilliant new tool from ITV. Once activated on your web browser, it literally finds discounts across 800 of the UK's largest retailers whilst you're shopping.
Wow, I mean, is that going to be quite fiddly?
Not at all. When you're shopping online, ITV Kaching will pop up whilst you're checking out. It brings you the best deals so you save money on your purchases.
That sounds amazing and very easy, but is it expensive?
Nope, it's totally free. You can use it on clothes, your food shop, and even trips abroad.
Okay, well, that's my evening sorted. Me and Dammy want to book a new holiday, and that means we're going to have some more spending money to spend on some cute glasses.
Exactly. All you need to do is go to itv.com/kaching, follow the instructions to get it on your browser, and then shop away.
The honesty game, God, we just had a bit of that, didn't we?
We
a bit of
did.
honesty. There was an honesty game last night where all couples had to get together and tell each other some home truths.
Yeah.
Now, there was some deep ones. We had one that was quite out there and it was the most boring couple. Now, nearly everyone voted for Tina and Chuggs.
Cop out.
We were all sat here watching the
Yeah.
TV, being like, why is no one saying Luke and Grace and more things? And Sammy Root was doing all Tina and Chuggs because he just knew that was going to get him up. And especially when his other half's in bed.
Yeah.
And he was going to take all the flack. So he was just like, no, it's just Tina and Chuggs, baby, come on.
I feel like to have them up for everything, like most boring, who wears the trousers. There's obviously no real sexual chemistry there anyway. So there was not really a point in them being voted for anything.
For me, if we were just looking at them now, most boring, actually to be fair, most boring, you couldn't pick anyone other than Tina and Chuggs. I don't care what anyone says. I'm sure Chuggs is an absolutely lovely guy.
Yeah, but Tina's always laughing.
But that doesn't mean that
doesn't
together...
make you excited.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that together... This doesn't mean individually they're not. But like as a couple, there couldn't be any less charisma as a whole.
They're too posh, aren't they?
I can't really comment on that. But like,
You're literally posh.
yeah, they're letting the side down.
Yeah.
You're
posh,
down.
but exciting.
Yeah.
Yes, you're exciting posh.
Almost too much so.
Yeah.
Now, who wears the trousers? Lots of people said Ronnie and Harriett because Ronnie is doing the most. But does that mean Harriet's actually wearing the trousers? She's not ordering him round.
Yeah.
She's not telling him what to do. He's just doing it off his own back,
Yeah.
which, what a guy.
Yeah.
Who would you say actually does wear the trousers?
Come on, India, who wears trousers?
You know what? I am actually going to go for Luca and Grace. Because the reason why I don't think Harriett wears the trousers, I feel like Ronnie is obviously still in his grovelling mode. He messed up sometime before and he's just trying to get back in Harriet's good books. That doesn't mean Harriet's wearing trousers. However, we did see a few episodes ago when Grace absolutely gave it to Luca. So much so, he actually put his hands up and said, actually, I don't want to get to know Sammy anymore. It's fine. Let's just continue what we were doing and get back on the straight and narrow. So I feel like it is Luke and Grace.
So I love it because we're getting to the stage now where it's like we're going to start saying things to hopefully influence the public. Us, we're trying to influence what we think about them so they can win it. And I love it. And also, everyone starts talking about, oh, you've been in here 3 times, Casey, or you're here for clout. We weren't hearing that about 3 weeks ago.
No.
And suddenly now, you're hearing what
1
they
week to go.
actually think about each other when it comes to sort of like being here for a second or third time.
Yeah. You've all been
You've
here
all been there.
before.
Yeah.
So, quite frankly, who was really in it for the crowd? Maybe it's the whole
They're
time.
all-
innit?
I didn't really
Literally.
understand that question, the clout one. I thought they meant who is in the relationship for clout.
Okay, well, if it was the relationship, who would it be?
It could be Grace and Luca because Grace really like locked it in after Luca was voted best boy, whatever it was called. Then like Elmer and Sammy, I do really believe in them as a couple, but some could say that she was voted favourite girl, she was single, she was like a damsel in distress, and then Sammy like swooshes in and is like, I will save you, says that. You've got Ekin and Curtis, both big personalities. They're both very showbiz.
There's no way they're attracted to each other. I don't care what anyone says. I don't
think they could
care
be the
what
quickest
anybody
one.
says. We've all seen the dancing clip, okay? We've all seen it. You know I like Curtis in terms of like, I find him incredibly entertaining. Everything he says, I'm like, this can't be you. Where he's like, all right, darling. You're like, no.
Naughty.
Like, naughty. Like, I am terrible with the ladies, right? But even I know that you can't say that. He must know. And I'm looking at you, Amy, because is he like this?
Yes.
No, but legitimately, is he like that?
He used to say in our series, didn't he? Everyone was a very nice young lady.
Oh,
a very nice young
God.
lady.
But okay, so like when you're getting close, let's say a kiss,
Right.
There's no way he's like whispering in your ear, oh, you're a lovely girl. Like, there's just no way. I just surely not.
I mean, I can't really remember, but I don't think he did whisper, you're a very nice young lady in my ear.
Nice
I
young
don't
lady.
think he did.
But I love him. So look,
he is a good guy.
I find him brilliant, an amazing watcher. And I think he's harmless as well. I really do. I think he's harmless. I just don't think they're attracted to each other. I don't think they are.
Mark? Islanders, as Ekin Sue, Curtis, Harriett and Ronnie and Tina and Chuggs received the most votes in tonight's challenge, they're now vulnerable and at risk of being dumped from the island.
Oh my word.
What the hell?
Now we saw at the end of last night's episode, there were 3 couples that were vulnerable. However, that is left in the hands of the public. Who are they going to save? And by the way, guys, the vote is now closed.
We've got no idea how it's going to pan out. the show itself loves to shock us. And, you know, we're getting close to the end now. There's still a lot of people in there. So it may be one couple that goes home. It may be two. I would hazard a guess that Tina and Chuggs could be on their way home.
Yeah.
But if it was going to go to two couples being dumped, who do you think would be the second couple dumped out of Ronnie and Harriett and Ekin and Curtis?
Ekin and Curtis.
I do agree, and I think it could be Ekin and Curtis, only because I'm not really starting to see the love between them anymore. I feel like things are getting very mundane.
Have we seen like a real fun side to them, like we do see with Ronnie and Harriett? Like, they have their faults and, you know, say what you want about them. Did they plan it? Did they not? But they have given us like some real laughs. The stuff they say to each other is great. Like them in the dance challenge was hilarious with like her walking him like a dog. And like they've given us that fun side plus the emotional side plus a bit of drama. Like they've given us like the full spectrum of what we need from a couple.
Welcome back. I'm Mr. Cynical, right?
Yes.
You've got to do more
Yeah.
than that to win me over.
Yeah.
I look at Harriet and Ronnie and I go, all right.
Yeah.
Like, okay, fine. Do you know, like I've heard the Roses chat and stuff. And I'm like, I think we as a public,
The royal we.
Yeah.
I know what you want.
What? Yeah, no, but
You want real R&B passion.
Yeah, I do. I
like,
want him to be ripping his shorts up
ripping
and
his
this guy,
shirt
no!
off. Yeah.
Come estás? But like, I feel like, if you know, you know, by the way.
If you know, you know,
I feel like they're floating.
Yeah.
I know we're near the end, but it's just so predictable, Harriet and Ronnie. And I think we as a viewer are a little bit like, do we love them? I don't love them.
But out of those two couples, if two couples are
I
going
think
to go home...
Ekin and Curtis, but only for, like, I know what I'm getting with them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, great. Ronnie, Harriet, I'm like, all right.
Well, you know what, guys? We will find out tonight what the public have decided to do.
Yes.
So-
And we may even get to speak to the dumped Highlanders tomorrow morning.
Oh, my God, do we actually?
Well, I don't know. I can't confirm that or deny it. But if history repeats itself, we will. We will. But Sam, thank you so much. We're going to have you here all week with us.
An honour.
You guys can catch us on YouTube, ITVX, and your favourite podcast provider app. Now, Sam is going to be with us all week, so if you want to know his opinions on any of the Islanders, please leave comments below, and we might ask him some of them tomorrow morning.
I love a Q&A. I really, really enjoy Q&A, and I love this show. I really, really do.
It's good stuff.
It's amazing to be back, and you guys are killing it.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
We love you.